Generation Z.
Generation Z. Generation Z.
Generation Z.
Generation Z.
Generation Z.
Generation Z. Welcome back to our channel. Here with you, Tammy Green. We're back with another video of Gen Clash. We have a new debate going on now, which is the best generation. Today, we will be looking at different aspects of each generation and deciding who's the best. Maybe it's us, maybe it's the viewers. We'll see. Comment down below and subscribe though. So now it's time for me to present to you. Here we have, as your age before beauty, here we have Archibald. Please,
Thank
may you
you.
present yourself?
I'm called Archibald. I'm 70. 71 soon. I can't really remember. Old age is getting to me.
Tell us about your generation. Let's go.
Well, baby boomers, we are the cat's pajamas. We are the best. That is undoubted. Like, no one can go against it.
Yeah, I hear you. So here we have our expert who's going to back up every fact today, aren't we? Today.
Yes, I
Dr.
will.
Who?
Thank you very much, Tammy, for inviting me to this beautiful debate that I'm sure will whet your subscribers' appetite.
Here we have Stormy. Hello.
Sorry.
What were you just doing on your phone then?
I was with my phone, Snap, Instagram, everything. I'm sure these people don't know a lot about it. So let me present
Actually,
myself.
if I may interrupt,
Hold your
we
voice,
actually do. 90% of us use Facebook, so we are adapted.
Let's get on with the subject.
And I'm not that old.
And so let's start with who's had it the hardest actually. Oh, who's had it the hardest actually? Let's hear from Archibald. Let's go.
Well, we had it the hardest. We were born after the war, so we had to start everything again. Our dads had gone and fought in the war, so we had to take their place in the family household.
And how did that make you feel? Psychology, was it breaking or
Well, it was, it just taught us from a younger age what it was like being an adult.
Okay.
May I just interrupt?
Sure.
I think being born just after the war is just an excuse to say we had a difficult childhood. But actually, we, the Gen Z, have a difficult childhood because we were born with the internet, and the internet is quite a complex thing. It makes us really think, but the good thing it's given us our generation a hyper cognitive kind of aspect. And if you take a bunch of add the stats, everything says it. All is proven.
Interesting. Doctor Who, anything to back this up?
I would just like to say that a lot of the Gen Z use a lot of internet, and sometimes it's in a better way, but sometimes it's too much for social media, and that will damage the future.
And your point of view, how do you feel about this?
I feel pretty balanced. I think that both of them had it really hard, but it depends really on what situation and context you were and where you came from.
Okay, interesting. Let's go on to another point. Technology. Now, we know so far that baby boomers, I don't want to be mean, yeah. You guys don't know how to use technology, yeah. Just admit it.
No offense taken.
Okay. So, Stormy, how often do you use a phone?
Actually, I use my phone every day. I have an average of 4 hours and 29 seconds of use of phone every day. Actually, technologies can say it. We've done new discoveries. It's great what technology can do. And yeah, I'm a lot on my phone, but it helps me because I'm a student and I can take notes on my phone. I can call anyone. It's great. They didn't have this at their time, I'm sure.
No, we had to actually work. We used our brains for this.
I'm actually curious to know. Would you say that, what you're using, like your phone, Snap, does it help you to be a better person or like communicate with others? Like, how would you use it?
Well, social media is great because I can communicate with anyone. And yeah, so if I need just someone to help me on a homework or, I can just call them, text them, anything. And yeah, that's it.
How about you, Archibald? I'm interested.
I don't know. The only technology I use is when I watch the TV, and that's not very often. So I guess my generation, we are against technology. We don't like what technology is doing to the minds of children and the next generations.
Any facts about addiction or?
A lot of addiction come from social media and influence. The social media influences a lot younger generations.
How so?
By fake news. First of all, fake news is something that has been a big problem since.
May I interrupt? If children nowadays just go into bad things on their phones, it's just because their parents didn't educate them well. For example, I had great parents. I was educated in a great way, and now, I could study in investment and banking at Oxford. So it just depends on the parents and the education they give them.
Now, how old are you?
I'm 20 actually.
20. Oh, sorry. Interesting. What would you say your life goals? Because Archibald will probably have more experiences than you, obviously. So, what do you see in the future?
I see myself living a lone life in my holiday house in the beach in Spain and living great days.
How about your experiences? I'm guessing you've been through the war and World War I, World War II. Yeah, more like sorry.
No, we were born after the war, so we didn't live through the wars. We were born in the aftermath of the war.
See, it makes your much easier. You were born during the war.
But after the war, wasn't the economy destroyed? Would you say something against that?
No, but obviously it's much more difficult to live within a war and after the war. After the war, everyone is happy that peace was made, and we are English, so Britain won, and it was really a great moment for Britain to have won a world war.
Actually, not everyone was happy after the war because, lots of cities were destroyed. For example, Coventry, that city was completely destroyed from the bombs.
Of course, I can't deny that.
Okay.
So,
Families were broken too.
We're going to go on the last subject here, which is education. Who is the most educated? Let's start with Stormy. Sorry, you're a bit too old, but
All right. So, basically, obviously, you had it more difficult. You had to go in the dictionary, find things. It was difficult, but now we have the internet. Things are easier to search. We can go even further, and we're inventing great things. At your time, there wasn't even a man had gone to the space. Now we can build satellites. We can be what we want. We can be an engineer. We can be a banker. Anything.
well, we could too. Technology doesn't change that. These jobs have been around for ages. Technology does not change which jobs you can get. Sure, you can get like programming and IT, but bankers, lawyers, these jobs, they've been around for centuries.
True, but it's much more easy now. We have the internet. You can have all the laws, if you're a lawyer, for example, you can have all the laws on the internet. You don't have to carry a big book, really heavy.
And before I forget, did you take out a student loan for your education?
No, actually, my parents just paid my university, and I'm living a great moment. I think it's the best days of my life when I'm a student.
And I know that you probably had it a bit easier than others. But how would you feel about the economic situation right now? Would you say a lot of debts are going around? And
Yes.
would you blame it on older generations?
Actually, I'd blame it on the older generations, but this time not on the baby boomers, more on the millennials and Gen Xers, because they're the ones who have messed up after the wars, not the baby boomers.
How do you feel about this, Archibald?
I mean, I don't know, it feels good to not be blamed for everything for once. Because nowadays everything is blamed on us because we are the parents, we are the grandparents, and even great-grandparents in some cases. So it's nice not to be blamed.
That's good. That's good. Doctor Who, any facts? Lay us. Come on.
I don't have anything to say on that.
Obviously. Okay, so I think this is going to be the end of the show today. So what I want you guys to do, we're not going to vote. We're going to let the viewers vote personally, so you know. So please vote in the comment section, like or dislike, I don't care. Views. Revenue. And so, yeah, it's going to be the end. Have a nice time, and I'll see you on the next episode of Gen Clash.
Generation Z.
Generation Z. Generation Z.
Generation Z.
Generation Z.
Generation Z.
Generation Z.